recording is restarted. So my thing screwed up way back when Jameson was asking about something.
Stop. And scene.
I remember what I was asking.
Yeah.
And then it was before I got asked if I had any trouble crafting.
Was it? I mean, if we could be making sure the ships are underway while we're waiting for everyone to return.
Yes. And so that was when I was about to start getting into numbers. But yes, the people that are here are in the midst of loading the ship and kind of getting that kind of stuff underway, preparing. 4 people had gone out that hadn't come back. They will be coming back with people. What I would like is for all 4 of you to roll a d10, give me the results.
10, you said.
I did say a d10.
4.
7.
8. Jim got a 10.
Oh. I don't have the chat up.
I just heard it bloop. So.
Yeah.
Well, it could either go one of 2 ways. Same could be scaling from 10 to 1 or 1 to 10.
Or it could be an accumulated number.
This is true. You never know.
So one of a variety of ways.
So
You know,
32 people.
32?
32 people come back, along with those 4 guys. So yes, one guy has 6 people with him. One guy has 8 people with him. Another person has 9 people with him. And another person has 11 people with him. Stop.
So is that 32 including the 4?
It's not. So collectively, 36.
41 plus our party.
Dad, I want a pizza.
You know what? So do I.
I want a pizza.
There's a pizza in there.
Yeah, Dad. We also want pizza.
I want pizza.
What happened to the hair?
We had Little Caesars.
Yeah, but I thought she said she wanted pizza. Not cardboard with some
pizza?
tomato paste on it.
Or does she want pizza pillows?
I'm not
How
talking
disappointing
jets.
would it be? How disappointing would it be if you went into a Little Caesars and it was just a bunch of tiny salads?
Oh man, I'm pretty sure Bloodbath would too. Oh, so you want to fight me, huh? Start punching the shit out of people.
We don't sell pizza here anymore, sir. We're a vegan company now.
So
Hey,
fucking
you would have
disrespectful. Yeah.
Sam just like rips his shirt off. As soon as he does, you just hear like the fucking WE bell, ding ding, out of nowhere. He's like, "Where did that come from?" Just starts getting beat down. You should have been
Theme
ready for the
music
match,
coming around.
I just imagine
There's
like
entrance music.
I imagine him looking like Master Roshi. You know, he starts off not looking that impressive, but then all of a sudden there's just muscles on muscles.
His beard is flexing.
Pretty sure I've seen that somewhere in some cartoon.
Pretty sure I have too. It's like very SpongeBob themed.
Yeah, it sounds about right.
And
That's-
so
Sounds right.
the
Bobo.
oh man,
Oh,
love
you mean
that
the
show.
SpongeBob episode, Karate Island. That's what you're thinking of.
I don't know, man.
Karate Island. And then
Probably.
the end boss was this old man fish, and when he ripped off his little tiny white thing he was wearing, he was just like super ripped, and his mustache had muscles.
Cheaters. You're all cheaters.
Yeah, all of you cheaters.
I have
Not a
intimate
worthy
Not
opponent
one
among
of
you.
you won a fair fight. Yeah.
Sorry, he's just.
One of the best scenes.
I still need to sit down and watch that.
It's hilarious. A part 2's coming out, so it's gonna be great.
All right. Let's.
back to the game.
Yeah. Breathe in, breathe
Yeah.
out, play the game. Got it.
Okay, so the extra people that I know if you were doing your math, you were paying attention. The dice you guys rolled was a collective number. There were a few extra people. Those people have their own purpose. It's regarding leadership score, and Cord, he was attracting a few people of his own. So that had nothing to do with your guys' accumulated score. It's just that later, when Cord leaves and is no longer a part of the group, or whatever the case may be, when the dynamic shifts, those people leave with him.
Okay.
So he also rolled a d10.
Correct.
All right. So the
Off to the ballroom.
47 total people, I believe, at this point.
Yes.
No, 50.
47.
50, because there were 3 people we rescued in this village that weren't part of his group.
You're very right. Good eye.
I just remembered them.
And they're thankful.
Well, I mean, in game, I didn't forget them. They're right there. I think. So easy to overlook the little people.
Without that showing. Can it?
Oh,
I would look for Armando at some point after I'm done maintaining my equipment.
Okay. I was going to say it's relatively easy to find him. The ship isn't that big.
Just realized I'm a little curious.
Oh,
I kind of
that's what you're looking for.
My sword.
Put that thing away. Oh.
I pull out my sword. Now listen. I'm not sure what the materials that this blade is made out of. I was wondering if you could identify it possibly for me. Maybe we could modify it.
No.
By we, I mean you.
Like, be honest, I probably could back on the ship with my lab, but right now,
Kind of look around. I mean, where are we? Oh wait, no.
oh wait, we're back on the ship. Hey.
Hey.
Scooby-Doo transition.
Like I would if we were on our ship. Spins around. Well, now that we're on the ship, could you look at this? Sure.
Just reach over and grab the edge of the screen and pull it over so we switch scenes.
Yeah, with the sword transitions. Yeah. It is a big sword, to be fair. It's
All right.
It's not an ancestral dice show by any means, but it's sentimental. I believe it was my father's, was it not, Sam? pretty sure that's the story behind it. Pretty sure. Or
This
if not, it's
this
just a
glaive?
ceremonial blade.
Is
I can't
that
forget.
is that the
Was I
story you
gift?
tell people?
No. Was this? I can't remember. Was that? No, I was gifted that from the fucking chief clan guy right before he left. That's what it was.
From
The chief clan. The
from
bear.
Running Bear.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Running Bear. He gave me this before he left. That's right. Yeah, no, it wasn't my dad. Fucking my uncle has my dad's sword, and I have to go liberate that along with a couple other things. But that's coming soon.
All right.
Hashtag free the homies. Hashtag Yahoo. Yeah, other than that, I'll just make my way to Sandoval and kind of discuss battle plans with him, see how he feels about going up against this giant vessel.
A vessel with like see 6 times the amount of people we currently have on our ship.
So
They have
Sandoval,
more
real quick.
cannons.
Well, being that we have none, yeah, I think they have more cannons.
Not true. To the first part, not the second.
So
We have cannons. They do have more than.
Sandoval,
Yeah.
roll a profession sailing check. And anyone with a profession sailing that is relatively high, meaning it's higher than a 6.
Let's see here. Profession. Okay, so that leaves me out
Second.
with my total of 5. I get a
And
6
when I
rank.
say 6, I mean 6 ranks.
Oh no, my total is 5.
Okay, so mine is a 27.
The roll.
Yeah, my roll is a 27.
Oh, I thought you meant
Okay.
like your total skill.
Holy
Before I
crap!
roll.
Yeah, that's what I was like. God damn, I thought
No, my
my
bonus
math
is a
machine was
15.
insane.
He's
Like,
like, I am a ship. What the
No
fuck?
shit.
I mean, that's up with my
My
engineering and alchemy.
my bonus is a 15.
My professions, I have 8 ranks in it. It's a total of 10.
Roll it.
So, I got a 19. 29 on my skill check.
All right. The two of you get to talking while you're discussing battle plans. Sandoval looks to you and says what he was in the midst of saying. So they have, at least 6 times the amount of people, and that's when it comes to you that you get your role, and you're probably right. The math he's doing, um, that dreadnought alone, fully manned, has 800 men on ship.
Oh shit.
That's to keep it. That's to keep it moving.
So by all accounts, you think that it was only a small detachment of the force from the ship? Probably not even half. You think?
Not even a tenth. This was a couple longboats.
Well, that makes things a little more tricky, friend. I'd say our best bet, instead of rushing in as much as I would probably like to, that doesn't seem like the boldest, productive choice. Is there any way we could hit them from the side, or possibly sneak up behind them and get an advantage, some form? We're going to need some form of upper hand if we're going to strike them.
Here's my thought on that. Approaching this from any side, if we approach them from the front, they can hit us with chain gun or with chain shot and everything else and whatever else they have on the front of their ship. If we hit them from the back, they'll be launching fire barrels and mortars. And if we take them from the side, we have a full complement of 75 cannons pointed at us per
Genji, how do
level.
you feel about this? You have anything to weigh in on? I have one suggestion after you're done presenting your thoughts, Sandoval. I don't like it, but it may be the only choice we have.
We have Armando fly over there and drop his bomb.
I wish it would be as simple as that, but look at that fucking thing. I
You're
doubt
talking about a
Stunning.
floating mountain.
you'll hurt it, but with all the people that you say on there, chances are, as soon as the explosions happen, yes, it will damage some of the crew, but there's enough men on there to put those fires out and repatch the holes before much damage will occur. That's my thoughts on it anyway. If push comes to shove, Sandoval, or, sorry, Armando has a new ally, it would seem. Maybe we could, request her insight on this matter.
You want us to commune with a dark god.
I don't want to, but this fight also seems as smart as sticking my arm inside of a rabid dire bear's mouth. It's not a wise decision, but it needs to be done. If not, they're just going to burn this island and kill all these people, move on systematically. Who knows? They might even have more ships like this. We don't know.
I think your metaphor of a dire bear is slightly understating it. It's more like sticking your mouth into the, or sticking your hand into the mouth of a kraken.
Your head, your mouth, whatever. It's a life-altering situation. Is my point. That is, and I'm only bringing it up as a last resort case. If we can't come up with any brighter ideas, that's my 2 cents.
My
I
idea
say if we have any
is to
advantages in
outsail
Armando's
them.
arsenal, we could outsail them. And like I said, we could probably strike, maybe get a sneak attack. See, the problem with fighting them like this is that they have more cannons for us, pound for pound. If we engage them in a direct battle like that, they just sink us outright. I feel like it wouldn't even be really a fair fight. They have too many cannons and enough men to blast enough holes in the side of this ship quicker than any of us can even attempt to repair it. And that's not assuming we don't get caught in the way of cannon fire.
Being that one volley of cannon fire, if it hits true, is enough to completely decimate our ship.
Yeah, and I look back. How many? We only have one main mast, right? Or do we have a small front sail in front of our main sail? Either or. If something
This is the
takes
same
out our
size
main
as
mast, we're kind of dead in the water.
the boat we're on right now is about the same size as the ballroom. We have two masts, and that's not including the flying jibs and
So the only advantage we really have is that this ship is really big. It outclasses us in every way in a fight. But we are smaller, and we have the speed advantage. And as we see with our friend here, and I kind of look at Genji, it does prove to be quite effective. You don't always need to be slow and strong. Kind of motion towards myself.
slow and strong
Leander would
as the guy with the fastest movement speed of the group.
Only naturally.
from Leander's side of the discussion. Yeah. Okay, so have either of you blokes ever seen what happens when, I don't know, 17-pound gun shoots? What it does?
Yes.
All right. What about you, big man?
I've had to patch the holes up in the side of a ship for one. It's not fun, and
All
it
right.
takes time.
All right. That, and he points further out in the ocean in the general direction that you guys have said the dreadnought is. That thing's got 40-pound cannons.
What?
Yeah. You ready for that?
No, we are not.
75 per level. He's got 3 levels. Not to mention swivel cannons and deck guns. You do the math, big man.
I need to, I'm going to go think.
Go and why don't you go think with your brother? Go find out what kind of plan he's got, since he tends to not really sit and discuss his
Before
plans
I
with us
do,
very
I'm
thoroughly.
going to make peace with my old gods just in case this whole plan goes south and we end up sinking to the bottom of this fucking big pond. Then I'm going to go talk to my brother. I suggest you all
You
make
do
your
that.
peace too, in case.
If I had a god, I may.
If I only had a god. Doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. Oh, there she is now. Hi.
Mm.
Hi.
I can't believe how big Emma's gotten in only like 3 or 4 months, man. That's crazy. She shot up like a bean sprout.
Kids, man, they grow.
Yeah, you feed them and water them right, they grow at a rapid rate.
You use Miracle Grow on them, man? Damn.
Just the normal stuff.
Yeah, just the usual. Can I eventually make my way to
Little
Armando?
Caesars and Taco Bell.
Okay.
I'll
You
try to
begin to wander
fast.
off, and that's when Yule, who has been standing idly by, waiting to deliver a report, um, reports that you guys have 11 wounded on the ship. Of those 11, 3 are at death's door. 2 men have already died.
Armando cracks knuckles.
Hold on a minute. And I run back down to the storage of the
Like,
ship,
wait
and
a minute.
I'll break open one of my medicinal crates that I was saving for home. I have 3 of them. It's fine. I can spare one for our people.
I'm like, didn't I
I'll
pass
break
Let-
one
out
up.
potions before all this?
Yeah, but that was
yeah.
on the beach.
No, I passed them out on the ship.
No. Yeah, he handed out stuff to the people on deck.
Oh, well then never mind. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, scratch that.
Well, if they're this bad, that would mean that they used them.
Correct.
Oh boy.
So would healing
There was
salve
a
help
hell
them?
of a firefight on the beach.
I would also like
Most
to point
men
out
were.
that they're alive. Well, most of them.
They are.
Yeah, most of them.
There was a hellacious firefight that broke out on the beach as the party that went ashore to secure a landing site was accosted. However, we did avoid mortar and cannon fire as we decided to move further south. Yule is pretty sure he has figured out where they're at, or at the very least, a general direction, as a big chunk of the northern portion of Amastawa has been firebombed.
So a good half of
which
our crew is out of
which
fighting shape.
means which means this dreadnought's skirting dangerously close to Tavirian waters.
Oh,
Tiberia doesn't take kindly to warships coming through.
You people do. So if we are to take on this dreadnought, which it seems
Yule gets
every
a very surprised look on his face.
it would seem the best chance we have to get any aid is to try to bait them into Tavirian waters.
Your plan is to get him to chase us, Captain.
It's not a plan I like. I'd much rather just slip out.
Well, the weather's calmed enough that I think a longboat could uh, get relatively far. What about a boarding party?
A boarding
The
party
way
with
we just, well, motions at Genji. I hate to say it, but few men could get in and out, sabotage, you know, portion of their propulsion systems. That would keep them from chasing us.
if we wait till night, extinguish all ship's lanterns, we may be able to send out a longboat. If we can, I'd like two, one from each ship, to go
Aye.
out. One party to board, perhaps plant Armando's device. The other
Does
to
anyone
disable their rudder.
understand? Does anyone understand Armando's device?
Not even slightly.
All right. So mental note: Armando must be a part of said boarding party.
But,
Either
you
that,
know,
or he better write some goddamn thorough instructions. Because look at these idiots. Half of them can't read.
the other team, though, I would say we should try to disable their rudder. Well, they'll have some limited steering with sails. Without their rudder, we can definitely outmaneuver them.
A ship of that size, Captain, requires engines.
Even so,
I believe a good shot to one or two of them, they're dead in the water, so to speak. Even this close to the storm wreck, the winds are not going to propel them fast enough to get anywhere significant. They're just as likely to float towards Tavirian waters and be bombarded as they are to float back towards Amastawa. Continue their harangue.
so I'd say definitely disable the rudder. keep them from steering. If we can, disable the engines. What we cannot afford, as I look at everyone, is a full-out attack on or off their ship.
Armando comes down. So, here's my plan for a full-on attack.
That's why Leander was like, "Go." Why would somebody go and get Armando? Because we're all talking about stuff.
And before you,
Maybe he'd like to share
as soon
his
as you
plan
step
with
out of your cabin,
it.
there's a Jaeger in the doorway.
No. We're gonna cut over to Jaeger. You make it to Armando's cabin.
Yeah.
Coming in, the
Armando.
place is a bit of a mess. Daisy and Arthur seem to be a little busy getting some things together as Armando has come in and started giving them directive.
Ah, brother. Some things I would like to discuss. If you're, well, I know you're busy.
Uh, yes, but I have a moment. What's up?
This isn't about the sword. So we were discussing the plans for attack on this ship. A fool. Do you have anything like on you visibly? Like, do you have plans or shit that you're carrying to show everyone? Because if you did, I would start walking with you. If it looked like you were trying to move.
Probably not.
Oh, well then, what I was bringing up is that we're definitely outclassed by the ship, right? Pound for cannon,
All right.
man for man. There's too much firepower on that ship to where if we get close, there's not much we could do besides just immediately be sunk. There's not enough men on this ship to where we could even try to repair the damage being done to us before we could even try to retaliate. So, we would think possibly evasion or some other strategy. Now let Sandoval tell you all about that, but I was thinking deeply, as a potential last resort. Maybe you could speak to your new friend. Maybe she might be inclined to give us a hand. Maybe make it foggy or something. Something little, you know. I don't want you to end up owing her your soul.
I
I'm
look out the
scared for that.
porthole at the still drizzling rain.
This is only a last resort, keep in mind. I don't want to try to ask her for favors. You know how I feel about her. She scares me, if I'm
I
being
pat
honest.
you on the elbow. Jaeger, it's okay. I got this.
Well, then tell us what to do.
I look very disturbed because Jaeger has suddenly realized his own mortality and is concerned about it, and I'm not sure how to handle that.
The big,
I love it.
big guy is
I
like
got this.
scared for you. I worry sometimes, brother.
Famous last words. I got this.
I know you're smart, and you'll figure it out. You always do.
Jaeger,
I just worry.
no. So,
It's because I care. All right.
all right, grab that box. I'll carry this box.
Oh, all right. I got it.
Let's go.
You sure? I can pick that one up too. I have a spare arm.
I'll carry this one. It's fine.
All right. I got the door. Let's go.
And we'll go up and we'll talk to the others so they know what's going on.
Bye,
with-
Daisy. Bye, Arthur.
Uh,
Daisy would be following. Arthur will only follow if commanded.
I'll hold the door for Daisy then, just to be nice. I assume she's carrying shit too.
Well, yeah, I mean that's a pretty good start.
Fucking shit on, bitch.
This is a family game. Don't need all that.
Yeah, but have you seen the family involved?
Hashtag
Real quick, I dropped a new character because mine's unmovable.
Yeah, he's really big.
And
Okay.
I hear he's really big in Amastawa.
He's big in Tiberia.
Everyone's
It's a line
big in
from a song.
Tiberia.
Yeah. It's a line from a song.
I was just referring to the
Big in
fact that
Japan.
all the
Correct. That's it. He says we're big in Japan, and then the background says that exact thing you said. We
Oh.
all big in Japan. I thought you were quoting the song with
I
me.
did not actually know that one,
Yeah.
and that makes me sad.
Tom Waits.
Makes me sad. All right. So we're all gathered around the planning table.
this is, just the
Fuck you.
the PCs and Yule or Ollie as well, probably.
Leander.
Yeah. Daisy is there.
Yes.
I'll be honest.
Constantine.
The other major captains of other ships who are willing to be part of this.
Okay.
All right. So I understand some of you have some concerns.
About assaulting a
Generalized
floating fortress.
grumbling.
So their main strength is not their cannons. It is the people. That is what this is for. Patting the box I carried up. With lots of strange dials and antenna on it. The Black Church relies heavily on its psionic powers, and I look around at the table. A lot of stuff that'd take a long time to get into, but is really messed up, and let's just say it's not a good idea on the whole. This will turn that strength into a weakness. It will disable and possibly outright kill all of their strongest warriors. And
That
is
still leaves.
quite likely to render the vast majority of the people on the ship insentient for some time.
For some time. We don't have any more of a definite than that. I'm asking in character.
Not exactly like I've had a chance to test it on people before. Would you like to be the volunteer?
Is that good pizza?
You can roll an engineering check though to give a best guesstimation.
Do that, but it's also... Oh boy.
This is not a poking holes in your plan question. This is a
Okay, so the total
I
was
need more intel to formulate a better plan.
total was a
Yeah.
31.
So your hypotenuse is that this, in theory, should sever their connection wholly until they leave. Your plan is to create an area they can't reach out and utilize their psionics. You plan on making a relatively massive buffer zone. Most of your variables have been lost in that regard, so you're not sure how fucking big it's going to be. But your plan is to make it an area that's semi permanent. So hopefully 24 hours.
It should be conservative estimate at least half a day.
Yeah, you're
Out of game. Once I set it off,
all your numbers.
if we're not done in 12 hours, then
What?
we've already failed.
Right. And so all of your numbers say that 12 hours is very, very low ball estimate.
Right.
But yes.
So, and then
This would affect our gear as well. Anything that we've picked up
I gesture over
that
at the
you say
box
is
that Jaeger carried up. That's why I made this shielding device. I look around at the other people. If you have any special items, I don't need to know about them. They're yours, but this device will shield them from the blast. I have a few things of my own that will be going in. Simply put them in a sack, sealed tight.
And Ollie would put a hand up, two fingers slightly, slightly up, as though he is waiting for someone to call on
I
him, as
just
though
look
it's
at
out.
him and yes.
Will this bomb destroy magical items?
No.
Very well. As he places his hands back behind his back, chin upward as though he's at attention.
And I just look at the others. Just make sure, if you're going to trust to that, that you know that it is magic and not psionics. If you're not sure, or you don't understand the difference, I'd leave it in the box.
pull Armando to the side. What is my stuff?
It needs to go in the box. And I step back. Second part.
Sandoval starts rummaging around the cabin, looking for a
You need
new
to
pair
find
of
another
boots
hat,
and a
don't
hat.
you?
And boots.
Oh yeah, I forgot about your super cool glide shoes.
So, and I stop and I gesture. It only needs to be in the box when the device is originally activated.
Yes.
Afterwards, they won't work while we're in the area, but they won't have the you won't have to worry about feedback. Moving on. Basically, out of game, they'll need to be in there like 5 minutes, and then you can retrieve your items and do other, put them back on. So you'll still have boots. You'll just be barefoot for a minute.
But I still need a hat for the interim.
Can't be without the hat.
Hatless? Ew. Yeah, that's like some double D shit.
Right, because I still
I
need the
feel like
hat.
before he would even like take off his hat, he would like snap his fingers like a deckhand would just like run and already have like a hat. As soon as he puts it in the box, he puts on the other one. All right, back to business.
Well, they're not privy to this conversation.
No. You just like have a cabin boy. You're just like garçon, garçon, fetch me my hat.
You're wearing it, sir.
I said, fetch me my hat.
No, that's when you go, damn, you're good. You just stand up. because chaos reigns and that hat's in the box, but somehow you're wearing the hat. You got it. Pulled it
So,
off.
yeah, I'm
Give that
shifting
cabin
things
boy a
around.
level.
Meanwhile,
I'm shifting things around. You're moving trinkets and
yeah.
various baubles that I've picked up. And I find a plain leather tricorn hat.
I
Not
would,
happy about it, but
after that has
Jaeger,
occurred,
you're you're pretty sure your necklace should be okay. You don't know what psionics is. You're relatively certain your stuff is magic, so shouldn't be an issue.
After the device has been activated, I would like a group of us to board the ship so I can find the fuel room for the engines. And I'm going
Okay.
to deep sigh, looking at Sandoval. Rig it to blow.
So, quick question.
Mm.
A slight, a slight like recon. Is so back when you were questioning the imperatist,
Mm-hmm.
the intel I had given you was relatively vague because I'll be honest, I hadn't been able to prepare that far ahead. So now that I have, that vague information has become slightly more clarified, um, filled with pertinent details, if you will. So, with all of that being said, I assume Armando would have asked, at the very least, um, for some form of rough layout. Like, that way he's not running around looking for an engine or a boiler room.
Correct.
And basically would have sussed out that there are maintenance hatches that will get you directly down into a boiler room, and it's sort of like the main boiler room. And it is at the very bottom of the ship. So that's really all he can give you because he's not one that really climbs down there a whole lot. All he knows is that it's down. Also, there are guests on the ship. Not only are there guests on the ship, the there is an ambassadorial wing of the ship that it houses the remaining member of the Black Church and the members, or not members, forgive me, the Imperials that were being shuttled about on the Dreadnought. As it would appear, they do go and pick up and bring back and forth ambassadors from various islands.
All right. Well, so
They do that.
Sandoval can tell his dad hi while he's there. Uh,
All right, so
uh,
is that the plan pretty much hammered out then?
the only thing is, if I can't access the fuel stores, we're gonna go for the ammo stores. Anyone see any need to modify this plan with an actual way to modify it?
Not
Depending
without more
on
information. I don't think I've
depending
got
on
much to add.
I'd say depending on the effectiveness of how well you have this device incapacitates them. If we can even load a few of their guns and ready ammunition back onto our own longboats.
If it has rendered the entire crew incapable of any defense, sure. However,
I'm not saying this is a main goal. I'm saying This is, again, depending on the effectiveness of your device. As you have stated, you are not entirely sure what the outcome is. If it does render them defenseless, I think we should take some of their weapons to outfit our ships.
I know that it will render those that are bound by the psionic control. And those that aren't and are simply attuned to the armor and are being shielded by psionics will quite possibly be completely helpless due to the pain now that the blockers are gone. If the average crewman is just a normal human or whatever race, then
They're
they're just,
Imperials, mate. They'd be human.
well, Imperials have no issue with slaves.
Yes, but this is the church we're talking about.
As I said,
They wouldn't have them. It's my opinion that they wouldn't have non-humans on their vessels.
I'm not making any assumptions about the church at this point, considering everything I knew about them growing up was a lie.
That's
Anyway,
fair.
the point being, it doesn't matter what race they are. I don't know if they're going to be attuned or if they will be normal humans. If so, they will still be able to mount some defense. In which case, we're
Like
best
I
off
said,
getting in and getting out as quickly as possible.
if it's an option, it's an option. If it's not,
Hey Sam,
Yes.
can I make a knowledge roll to remember what the Merovingian slave vessel kind of looked like when I was coming over? Is there any roll I can make for that?
You don't need to. You remember it painfully well. Pun completely intended. Why? Any particular reason?
I'm just trying to figure out if any way I would know if this is like any kind of possible like did they transport slaves on this ship? Was it like hush whispered about like talked about from other slaves? Maybe chance. I'm
Did,
trying
didn't
to
you come
trying to
over on a
reach in the
Varisi
dark here
ship?
for something. Yeah, but well, I don't know.
You didn't
No,
come over on this thing that you didn't come over on
no,
this.
no. It's true. That's
You-
why I was trying to ask. Like, can I gauge your gleam? Any? Okay, but not really. No, this
No.
is a
So Justin's correct. You were brought over on a Barisi slaver ship.
I didn't even know they had those.
Nor does most of the Empire. Sandoval found out about it and blackmailed his brother for a handful of fucking crowns for one hell of a party. It was a raucous one. He loved it.
Sandoval has issues.
Well, he's got their issues too.
so mind you, this is also before Sandoval had any real what's the unique
Before
scope
you
of the
took
human
responsibility,
condition.
I love
This
it.
is
That's kind of like a real solid point. You
this
know,
is
this is
pre
exactly when you change too.
tragic Sandoval or pre tragedy Sandoval, like the biggest tragedy before Martano Bay that Sandoval had faced was potentially just, not having
Sandoval's
enough
back.
money to
Sandoval's
afford his
tragic
luxury.
backstory. Sandoval's tragic backstory was session zero for us.
Sandoval's tragic backstory was being rich. You don't
How
understand how
tragic.
hard it is.
Oh, believe me, I do. You're buying the next round, aren't you?
Yeah, I got it.
Awesome. Best friend ever.
As much as I want to argue with what you guys are saying,
Don't really feel like there's a point.
well, it's like, so I want to argue with it because, it's my character and I want to defend him. It's like the first time Sam said Sandoval's a bit of an asshole. I was like, hey,
It's true,
You
but
know what?
you shouldn't say it.
Don't say it in front of me. Damn, I'm right here.
like, at least let
Don't
me
say
leave
it
the
out
room
loud.
first.
Come on, man. It's like an unspoken thing.
It's
You
like, at
just
least
say
let
it.
me leave the room first. I mean,
I was just saying what we were all thinking, you know?
he's gotten better.
And so the idea is to wait until cover of night. You guys currently have 6 longboats that you could take out. Each longboat can carry up to 6 men.
How many
So that's
Jaegers getting on one of them?
a total of 36 men.
36 men to assault a floating fortress.
Come on, you got this.
Infiltrate. There's a difference.
Well, there's all right. So there's 36 people, a demigod, um, a witch. Come on, you guys got this.
Wait, who's the witch?
So,
Am I the
like,
witch?
remember
Oh,
when you used to watch?
you'll see.
Remember when you used to watch like WWF, and all of a sudden it would play like Rowdy Piper's song, and he would just come running from out back. He wasn't scheduled to be there. It was like help from nowhere, and he'd come out and beat somebody with a chair and then disappear.
I mean, I didn't really watch wrestling, but okay, I get the
Oh well,
concept.
you get the analogy.
Yeah.
You get the analogy. Yeah,
I do, and it was great.
that's kind of what's happening. That's kind of what's happening.
Let's get it on.
I was like, wait, am I the witch? But I don't want to be a witch.
This
What?
kind of reminds me of that one thing that it said,
They
like,
outnumber us.
it just, that whole, you asking if you were the witch kind of reminds me of that one thing. It's like everyone has that one neighbor that walks naked in front of their windows far too often. If you don't have that neighbor, you are that neighbor.
Uh-oh.
I mean, I don't
We
know
may
if I
be
have that
out.
neighbor. I don't look at other people's windows. And all of
Yeah,
my
it's
blinds are
a
down.
little intrusive.
Well, I guess we figured out which one you
I mean, I might walk naked in front of a window, but it doesn't matter because my blinds are all down.
are. So, one of the longboats.
Real quick, does anyone ever mention to me that there's people injured?
Um, it's apparent. There's people running around doing heel checks and stuff, bringing
I
water and cloths and
if
so
it's
on and so
not
forth.
immediately where I can see it, like directly in front of my face, under the where as busy as I am, there's a very good chance I would miss it.
Um, that's fair. So roll a spot check because it would have been while you were on your way to your room.
All right.
Because you would have had to walk past some wounded fools, people
Oh,
running around with
22.
bloody cloths and so on and so forth. Oh yeah, yeah, some wounded over there.
And I actually
No one
stopped and
in
asked.
particular has been like, yeah, no one in particular has stopped and asked you and been like, hey, there's people wounded over here.
I actually stopped.
But
And
you're
I'm like,
relatively
did you use all the potions?
smart. They were all used relatively quick.
Ooh. All right.
That's what kept most of the men alive, and we have 3 dead.
Out of game. I thought we were at 2.
We're losing them as time goes by.
All right. Somebody fetch Leander. I
Now
retrieved
it's
the
time for
crystal.
the grim bit.
I retrieved the crystal. And
All right.
as you said, I'm already at a point I can't fail the check for this thing.
Correct.
So they're all topped up.
Bloop, bloop. All right. And so you go in, and after a few rounds, everybody there is kind of feeling a lot better, back to normal.
So the 3 that
And
are
you've got
dead,
the dead. Yeah.
are any of them like unrecoverable?
Okay. High or low?
Let's go with low for once.
Alrighty. It would seem that one of them suffered a relatively harsh blow to the face. His brain was destroyed. Part of his head is gone.
Yeah, I can't
You're
do
not
anything
sure
about
what would
that.
happen if you res him. Yeah, you're not sure if you could
I'm
res him or not.
pretty sure if it succeeded, what would happen? Jaeger would have a new pet,
Yeah.
and
So the other 2, however, they're in relatively good condition.
I mean they weren't dead anyway. They were just so badly injured people thought they were dead. That's all. Get back out there.
Right. All right.
All right. So if
So
if we're getting ready for the assault, I'd like to have everyone that's going to be on the assault gathered.
okay.
Out of game, do I have like the most loyal crew in existence?
Relatively close.
It's not. It's getting up there.
All right. And so, in all of this madness, Genji, you've been relatively quiet. Um, have you involved yourself in much of the planning? You just kind of listening.
Did you fall asleep?
Yep. Is he medicined up?
I honestly don't know. I will go check on him.
All right.
We'll be right back after these commercial messages.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
That time of year again, grab your pumpkin spice lattes.
Mmm. PSLs. Grab one. Drink it.
You use
This
our
message has been
promotional
brought to you
card.
by. This message was brought to you by Pumpkin Patch. Go there. Spend money.
Use our promotional code Jolly Wolf Gaming at Starshucks to get your free coffee now.
Da-na-na-na-na-na. Yeah, we're back.
Oh man, I
Kind
can't
of.
believe we're finally sponsored by a gag company. Hell yeah. Go
Star
Briscoe.
Shots, huh? Yeah. Star
Making
Shots
it.
PSL. I'm drinking one right now.
Can't forget, Piss Foster's pumpkin spice ale.
Yeah, it's the best.
Aight.
All good.
James.
He's muted.
You Tad. Man,
That
I
would be
wonder
a
if he was trying to
problem,
say
wouldn't it?
something. Were you trying to reply to me earlier when I was talking to you when I was there with Sandoval? Because if you were, we also didn't hear you like way earlier.
Yeah.
Are
Hey Ed,
you
on the
able
plus
to
side,
continue, Jim?
Sorry?
Are you able to continue, Jim? I mean, we could
Yeah.
always call a pause, man.
Yeah, no. I'll be honest, I'm not entirely I'll own that I dozed off. I'm not sure why. I got sleep.
Okay. Well, I didn't know if you were like medicined up or needed it the night off or whatever.
I mean, I took some Mucinex, but that usually doesn't knock you out, particularly because I took the daytimes.
on the plus side, while you were gone, we got sponsored by Star Shots.
What the fuck is Star Shots?
It's
A made-up
It's a
company.
gag company.
Ah,
Except that, there's a very good
Yeah.
possibility there is something out there called that, so please stop saying that. I don't want to get
Well,
sued.
while you were off of the headset, we ran our own commercials, so you're gonna have to go ahead and edit that out.
That's true. Hold on, I'm googling it right now.
We even had a Jolly Wolf plug. It was great. You missed.
Actually, I heard it on his phone.
out. So, quick rundown of the plan. Basically, we're going to load up longboats with 36 crew members, and by cover of night, infiltrate and potentially sabotage, try to sink the
Yamato?
the dreadnought.
The Yamato.
I'm not thinking a Tavirian warship.
There has been some talk during strategizing about its general location, and Yule has surmised that they are potentially skirting Tiberian borders currently, and Sandoval implied that potentially if things go tits up, that we get them to chase into Tiberian waters, banking on the idea that Tiberia would stop them from uh, pursuing too far inward. It's
That
sound reasoning.
sound okay. Let's say
It
from
is.
my perspective, does that sound
It is definitely sound reasoning, as Severia does not take kindly to warships going through anywhere near where they're capable of harming any of their people.
I mean, it's kind of shitty
They
on us
stay
to
out of
pull
everybody
Taviria
else's
into it.
wars. Yeah, but
I'm not saying it's
understandable.
plan
Look at
A,
the size
but
of that fucking thing. And so there was some discussion about whether or not uh, Jaeger thought they may have more than one, which was sound reason because, it's the Empire. But Armando has already come to relatively realistic assumption that there's no fucking way because worldly endeavors of that magnitude take far too long. And so at most they may have a couple. And so Armando's reasoning is truly to cripple the empire, not just let's let's go gung ho on this group of dudes. I think he just kind of wants to give the empire a black eye. And let's be honest, a ship of this magnitude, this much metal, gunpowder, and psionics. I mean that thing is a roving fortress. We've already come to that. So general consensus is that running spells death for Amistawa. So something must be done. And this is the plan. Sandoval has called the entirety of the crew, I guess, or
the boarding party.
okay. So pulls the 36 members of the boarding party together. And go ahead. The floor is yours.
All right. So we lay out the plan. Well, as much as they need to know about it, their parts on it and whatnot. Then I would continue to my steadfast companions. Today we stand at the precipice of a bold endeavor, an assault that will test the very core of our resolve. But remember this: we are not mere sailors, not today. We are warriors, united by the unbreakable bonds of our trust and courage. In our veins flow the salt of the ocean, and in our hearts burn the fire of an unyielding spirit. We have faced the darkest of tempests, and we have triumphed so far. Today we sail forward into another tempest, not with fear, but with an unwavering belief in our collective strength. Our enemies may outnumber us, their defenses may seem insurmountable, but they lack the heart that propels us forward. They lack the unity that courses through our very being. It is not the size of the ship, but the size of the heart within it that determines victory. As we charge into the fray, let our battle cries pierce the heavens, and let our actions echo throughout history. Let them remember us as the crew that feared no challenge and embraced every opportunity to prove our mettle. For Amastawa, for our fallen comrades, and for the countless adventures that await us, let us sail let us sail into this assault once more, unwavering and unbroken. Together we are a force of nature, and together we shall emerge victorious. The wind at our backs and the tides in our favor, we sail forth into destiny. Onward, for today we etch our names into the annals of legends.
With the power of friendship. Well said.
Yeah, and with that, the crew kind of begins to rally. Several of them begin to cheer, actively yelling your name, Sandoval. Ah. Um, I was gonna ask for a diplomacy check, but I think that I don't need to. That was well said. Morale is definitely bolstered, good sir. There are, as you look amongst the men, the fear has been driven from them, looks of hope upon their face, few of them with forlorn sadness in their eye, wipe a tear as all of them raise a horn, mug, bladder of some sort. Everyone drinks. And as the men gather their equipment, most do some form of pre battle thing. And I'll be honest, most men go and relieve themselves or void their bells, as it is very embarrassing to do that when you can't control
At least when it comes to the point when you can't control it, it's just a dribble.
it.
Oh, it's just sea spray.
Right. And as the other men are getting their gear together, Leander would find you and put a hand on your shoulder. He looks and nods approvingly. I don't think I could have said it better myself. Well put, Captain.
Oh, I'm sure you could have used prettier words.
Ah, I doubt it. It's quite poetic. I don't believe I've ever heard an Imperial wax poetic as such. Good show. And so, are all of the mains are all of the mains getting in the same boat?
That's a good question. Are we dividing forces or I mean, at the very least, someone or someone's need to go with Armando. Because if you're talking about maintenance hatches, I don't think you're even going to be able to have your power armor on. Maintenance hatches, by their nature, aren't generally very big.
Oh no, I'm not wearing the power
Well,
armor anyway.
well, that's sort of in the air also. Um,
I could go with Armando.
Normally, logically, one might think that this is also a crew that is known to A, be fully armored most of the time, and
Because they can't
B,
take it off.
um, right, and then B, be surrounded by like heavily augmented people, for lack of a better term. I mean, you've seen people with devices strapped to them, parts of their bodies replaced, the wardens. There's a solid chance things on the ship might be of a bigger scale, is really all I'm kind of driving at.
Okay, well that's fair. Either way though, I see at least two groups. One for contingency and one to or maybe one to maybe set off the device and one for contingency. Well, the one that sets off the device be the contingency rather. So, or do
Okay.
we need to cause a distraction on the at some point to let Armando do his thing in the engine room?
It would seem there is, if a distraction is needed, there are nobility on the ship, at least a few, may seem, I don't know, pertinent to feign some kind of attack on the ambassadorial wing.
All right. Well, I suppose I'm leading that faction.
All right. So Jaeger, Armando will be heading down. Um, Ali will accompany Armando. And then got Sandoval. You'll have, who are you bringing with you? Leander will
I
come with you.
Genji, Yule.
Genji. All right, so Yule will be there.
Yeah.
All right.
For the minor amount of crew that'll be left on the ship, I suppose at this point the next ranking officer would be Scupper John.
That's
Because
fair.
nobody fucks with the chef. I mean, it sounds somewhat humorous, but he's a respected member of the crew. He feeds everyone. People listen to that guy.
He looks mortified when he's informed that he is in charge while you guys are off ship.
He'll be in charge at a distance.
That's fair.
I'm gonna leave Daisy
So
with my
that'll
cannon.
leave.
All right.
So, how many people you said fit to a longboat?
6.
So I
And then
have.
there's also Constantine.
Yeah, I mean, she can be on my boarding party as well. That leaves 2 slots for crew members. Are you taking Arthur?
No, Arthur is not made for combat.
Okay. And I imagine Daisy and Mercedes are staying on the ship as well.
Oh yeah. I mean, if
Well,
Mercedes
I mean,
declares that she's
Mercedes.
coming, then I'm not gonna try and stop her. But
No, she didn't declare that she's coming. But she suggested she should come. Although, telling her she shouldn't makes her go, okay, right, like relatively quick. In other words, she wants to come, but she's terrified, man.
I would give Constantine the choice because that is my cousin.
No, Constantine wants to come.
Huh?
After that uplifting speech, Constantine wants to come. It was a relatively good speech on top of she's been living here on Amastawa for a little while now. she would like to take the fight to the people who just killed, well, butchered a large portion of the island.
And to think, Armando didn't want to come to Amastawa.
No, Armando did not want to spend a lot of time on Amastawa because he knew that you would cause a lot of problems.
And that's unfair.
Show of hands. Does anyone else believe that is unfair? I see no hands.
You're also on roll 20.
Yeah, and? Alright.
Okay.
So, before we go,
So,
I'm going to ask Mercedes to stay here and take care of this place for me. Because, yeah, I don't want her. I said
okay.
other than you, Jameson.
These are not me.
Oh, yeah, those are totally not you, with your name tagged to them. And suddenly you have 5 hands? And a paw.
So
I call him the cat. Oh, everyone's in. Cool.
we,
It's all Jameson's fault. Got it.
yeah.
Alright, so as we're
Armando,
getting ready,
Elite,
I
Jaeger,
say,
and then go ahead.
I say, I give my own speech that I got upstaged on. Gentlemen, ladies, others, the old gods are returning. Nehelenia herself helped protect this island. It's the only reason it's not burning rubble in its entirety.
And as you mentioned the name, the thunder picks up, the intensity of the rain begins
The
to
Black Church
increase.
would burn the entire world to keep their power and stop them from returning. I will not be crushed under their foot. And I see, looking around at all of them, neither will you. Out of game, I was going to go with a longer speech, but after Jameson's, it really doesn't seem to be much point.
However, few of the people there, they do seem a bit concerned. Um, roll a diplomacy check.
Out of game, I'm fulfilling my bargain with her. I had to give her credit.
Yeah, that's fair.
24.
Awesome. And Jameson buttered them all up, so you got nice little pluses from that too. They were quite receptive to the whole old gods, along with the whole parlor tricks being spewed about, the weather effects, and all the things you were saying being accentuated by flashes of lightning. That lightning not having a particularly normal color.
And we push off.
Alrighty. So let me get profession sailing checks.
23.
19.
35.
Oh, shut up.
No, sorry, 34. I don't have my hat.
By the way, did anybody else put any of the other captains or anything asked to have anything stored in the locker?
Cord has a necklace in there.
Okay.
And his first mate has a set of gloves and a pouch that he places in there.
Okay. Are they the only? Is that the only other captain we've managed to find?
That actually claims captain rank. Yes.
All right. Well, we're off to kill the wizard.
This session, are we?
What?
Right, this session, are we? Are we gonna start it?
I was about to. Should we not?
Probably not. I'm getting a little tired. I don't want to engage unless you think it's not gonna take more than like
God
an
no,
hour.
it's gonna be
But,
That's
it'll
fair.
be a moment. So
yeah,
Took us a little longer to get to this point, we thought. All right.
we met it a little bit. I'm sorry.
well, that's fair.
All right, guys.
If the other two of you worked where we worked, we could be planning this for like the last 2 weeks.
All right. Anything before I stop the recording?
I don't think so.
Be kind to your friends and never give up on your dreams. Live long and prosper. I don't know.
Recording ends.